Hello and good afternoon. I welcome all of you at the Sustainable Water Management Conclave series, Bengaluru edition chapter. It is indeed our pleasure to welcome all of you. This Sustainable Water Management series is organized by APAC News Network and supported by Schneider Electric, and we are trying to take this knowledge sharing platform into the length and breadth of the country. We started the initiative from the capital of India, from New Delhi. Then we have gone to various states, both in the virtual form and in the physical form. And now we are here in the state of Karnataka, especially in the city of Bengaluru, in which we are going to discuss on various aspects of urban water management, how to make it sustainable, resilient, and how more and more technology and innovation can be leveraged to realize that vision of water for all. In this regard, we have got special guests for this session. Let me invite on stage Sri Rakesh Singh, Additional Chief Secretary, Urban Development and Water and Irrigation, Government of Karnataka, to come on stage, please. A huge round of applause for him. Let me invite Mr. Rahul Kapoor, Director, Smart Cities Mission, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Government of India. Let me invite Mr. Rajendra Cholan, CEO and Managing Director, Bangalore Smart City, Government of Karnataka, to come on stage. Let me also invite Mr. Arkul Shenoy, Segment Head, Water and Wastewater, Schneider Electric India, to come on stage, please. A huge round of applause for him as well. We have got other speakers as well with us for various sessions, but before that, any good thing in Indian tradition starts with the lamp lighting. So I request all the eminent dignitaries present on stage to flag off this Bengaluru chapter of Sustainable Water Management series by lighting the lamp, please. No. We are eager to hear from you, sir, about your vision as well. Maybe 5 minutes you can just enlighten us, sir.
Shubham kurutvam kalyanam Arogyam dhanasampadah Shatru buddhi vinashaya Deepajyotir namostute Deepajyotir namostute Shubham kurutvam kalyanam Arogyam dhanasampadah.
A big round of applause for Rakesh Singh, ACS, UD and Water, Government of Karnataka. Let's hear from him, his vision on urban water management. So over to you, sir.
Guests on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. It was almost last 30 years back that I lost my vision. The moment I joined government service, the vision was only one. One, how to survive. Two, how to survive good in the interest of my senior bosses, the political bosses, and the public demands. There's no media here, right? There's no media here. And out of the three, I decided to survive with the political interest. And one has been working with that. And it has been extremely dissatisfying that I work in a system where I'm not able to work whatever little vision I had or what the society expected of me. And after 33 years, when one is in the sunset years of the career, and once I look back where I started and where I reached, there's a great contrast. 1990, 91, when we started, I feel that things were better. I have contributed to this, whatever mess has come to the society. One certainly takes the responsibility, and one feels good when one comes to these kind of conclaves that there's a different generation, different set of people who are trying to take it forward where I should have taken it forward. In a scenario like Bangalore, or in a scenario like state of Karnataka, water becomes all the more important and relevant as compared to other parts of the country. Most of you must be aware that in Karnataka we are the second most semi-arid area after Rajasthan. The monsoon keeps on failing regularly, though we have been relatively fortunate for the last 3 years. And I don't know how many of you are from Bangalore. If you remember the year 12-13 and 16-17, things were really very, very difficult. Most of us, rather all of us, stay in urban areas where we really don't understand the relevance of water or drinking water. You go to different parts of Karnataka, maybe the northern Karnataka or the central, western North Karnataka, people still have to walk and still they don't get quality water. I request and wish, I'm told that you people are working with Bangalore Water Supply and Sewerage Board. Together, what better we can do in the years to come. And the last word, and it will be good for you to listen, we are not dearth of money. Money is never a constraint. The constraint is a vision. And I request that you have a vision and include all of us in that vision. Thanks for calling me here.
No dearth of money and no dearth of experience, as Mr. Rakesh Singh was saying. But on a lighter note, whatever he has said, he has said a very practical thing, that we all have to work together to make water management effective, especially for urban areas as well. Thank you so much, sir, for your presence and enlightening us with your vision, which is full of experience. No dirt in that. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. A big round of applause for all the eminent dignitaries who are part of this flagging off session. Arkul, you can also stay back because you're starting the next thing. Let me invite Sheetal N. Singh, Director, Implementation Support Activities, Department of Rural Water Supply and Sanitation, Government of Karnataka, on stage, please. A huge round of applause for her. Let me also invite Mr. Rajeev K.N., Chief Engineer, Bangalore Water Supply and Sewerage Board, Government of Karnataka. A huge round of applause for him. We're also joined by S.B. Siddhanayak, Chief Engineer, Karnataka Urban Water Supply and Drainage Board, Government of Karnataka. And we're already joined by Arkul Shenoy, Segment Head, Water and Wastewater, Schneider Electric India. Again, I welcome all of you for this eminent panel on leveraging technology and innovations to build sustainable water network together. Before we start the session or the discussion, let me just give you a perspective that why there is a need of this kind of knowledge sharing platform. See, a country like India has got diverse problems and geographical problems, challenges are there. And every state, every city has got their unique challenges, which those challenges can be seen as opportunities to move into the right direction. And that's why, with support of Schneider Electric, APAC News Network has started this knowledge sharing platform series, a campaign on sustainable water management conclave, and we are going to states, as I've said in the beginning. And this time we have come to the city of Bengaluru to discuss on various aspects of urban water management. See, there are a lot of challenges which are there on anvil. Effects of climate change, groundwater going down day by day. Are we taking adequate measures for rainwater harvesting? Is technology and innovation is the way to leverage more and more to make that comprehensive urban water ecosystem fruitful and effective? Let's find out answers from all these eminent dignitaries who are part of this. We also have Mr. Vinayak, the Chief Engineer of Bangalore Smart City. I request him to come on stage, please. Okay, so I was just told that Mr. Vinayak has to leave because he has got an urgent meeting. So if you give me permission, we can have his perspective first, and then we can go to other speakers as well. So let's have a perspective of Mr. Vinayak, Chief Engineer from Bengaluru Smart City. Over to you, sir.
Today, actually, Smart City is having our own seminar, and I'm in the main organizing committee. I have to leave early, but anyway, there, okay. It's a very, as our ACS Saab was telling, water management and all, as everybody know, it's a very complicated and matter of serious concern. For the Smart City, our APAC has called me to have my view, but for Smart City we are doing mainly on the road aspects and other place-making other aspects, where we are dealing with pipelines with the water supply department. And regarding this smart water management, we have come up with an idea in Smart City regarding provision of smart meters to this Kapoor Park area, Victoria Hospital, where there is a lot of water misuse and bills. Yeah, consumption is there, but nobody is there to monitor. The bill comes, so we are trying to do something about that. I think there are other speakers who are very well knowledgeable in this area. They will speak to you, but I'm very happy that APAC is doing these initiatives. They are showing the concern for society. They are showing the concern for people. It's very happy to know that. I wish all the best for this event. Thank you.
It was short and crisp. I'm sure he has to rush for another meeting, but thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Vinayak, Chief Engineer of Bangalore Smart City. Let us start this session with the industry perspective. Let's have a perspective from Acha. He is saying he'll speak later, so let's start the perspective. Let's have the perspective from Sheetal and Singh, Director, Implementation Support Activities, Department of Rural Water Supply and Sanitation, Government of Karnataka. Let's hear from her vision on urban water management. A huge round of applause for her, please.
I have a presentation, but I think you can share that. I just will speak for about 5-6 minutes, and then I think it'll be too elaborate. And anyways, I'll just use it as an when required. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. I think I'm the wrong person at the right conclave. But I'm somehow a water-connected person, so I would say water everywhere, not a drop to drink. We have changed the mantra to water everywhere, tap it to drink. So with this statement, the terminology Jal Jeevan Mission is not, must be at least known to every other person living in the rural as well as shortly will be in the nomenclature of the urban as well. So Jal Jeevan is nothing but a second phase of the Swachh Bharat mission, which started from 2019 onwards. And so the focus has been on supply of potable water to the rural India. And so the whole trickle-down effect to each of the states. Our objective mainly here is to supply 55 LPCD of potable water to every household in rural Karnataka. And these are the main objectives which I would really not go into, but it's a convergence of many departments if this program has to be a success. And understanding the importance of each of these departments, sustenance as well as a long-term goal for reaching to the population which is 1 crore. In Karnataka, we have to provide individual household taps to 1 crore population, and that's 1 crore households rather, so that's our target. So how do we achieve this at a very short span of, say, mission mode, which is Jal Jeevan Mission, which gives us just a 5-year or a 4.5-year tenure. So I'll just briefly show you the institutional mechanism that is there under the Jal Jeevan Mission at the state level, where we at the state work from head office, that is our office in Bangalore, going down to the district level where it's headed by the CEOs, and from there it goes to the Taluk Panchayat, PDOs, to the Gram Panchayat, and to the person who lives in the village. So this program is a little different because it emphasizes on the participation of every rural household, because your DPRs to your preparation to your action plan emphasizes and mandates the participation of every Gram Panchayat member. So he is represented by every citizen. We have a participation of school children, we have influencers, we have SHGs, we have every person living in rural India who has to participate in the approach of making potable water a reality. So this is the need-based analysis, whatever you say is the need for the hour. And this is the other nomenclature which is used in Karnataka. Instead of Jal Jeevan Mission, we are calling it Mane Manege Gange, which was also declared officially by the CM in his budget speech. So we call it Mane Manege Gange. So you're taking the water, river water or any source water to the various parts of Karnataka. So that's my number. So rural households, like I told you, a crore plus is our target, and we need to reach that figure by 2024. It's madness. It's madness. And every day it's like you know where you are and you realize that you are still nowhere. So that's the kind of figure. But yeah, we have a system in Karnataka which is pretty much on par with any 4 or 5 states in the country which are following similar practices. So we have a supply which is called as in-village household tap connections, which basically is using the sources available in the village. It could just be a borewell, or it could just be a small pond or a lake which is purified and then supplied. We have a single village source which is SVS. This is, there could be multiple, it could be one river, it could be one borewell, or it could be multiple borewells. It's stored in one tank and then supplied. So the source is from the single village, and multi-village scheme is almost like a reservoir. It's almost like a dam, and we have about 400 plus MVS schemes in Karnataka. I'm sure not many of us are aware of that, but this MVS is something which is making our accessibility to potable water possible. So this is linking of many reservoirs, water sources, rivers, whatever, coming to one point, being treated to the potable standards, and then being supplied to villages. And if you look at Gadag, if you look at Tumkur, if you look at Chitradurga, if you look at Belgaum, Hubli Dharwad, some of these places which are almost 40 to 60% covered, Gadag is almost 99.9% covered by MVS. So in fact, we would be shortly declaring any water from Gadag district potable from any tap. So that's the scenario. So I will not go into the details of this, because we have certain standards, we work on certain quality parameters, and we work on mainly tapping these sources, purifying it at our levels, and then supplying it to the households. Okay, this is the SVS details, and yes, this is in-village distribution system. So the funding is basically Government of India, Government of Karnataka, and community contribution. So this is 42.5, 42.5, and 5%, and then 10%, which is a community contribution, because we expect community to be a part of this possibility, because unless and until a community thinks that they should be a part of a program for its success, for its sustenance, this 10% contribution is taken. And on an average, a tap connection to the household is costing us in the range of 10,000 to 40,000 rupees per tap connection to us in Karnataka. So these are some of the geographical saturation. Saturation is where we have ended our supply system. So the green ones are all almost covered today, and I think more than about 50% at least we are in the position to actually say that on paper it could be 75, but as 50+% we have covered in Karnataka. Yeah, these are our deadlines, I would say. So we work on these deadlines, and we expect our households to have these kind of deadlines, and we work on achieving this by 2024. And huge planning, huge, like I said, it's a community mobilized, community participatory approach. So you have the village water sanitation committee, you have the district water and sanitation mission, all of them put together coming for an action plan. That action plan is converted to a district action plan, and then the execution happen, from which a state level SLSSC is something which sanctions all these plans. Yeah, and the Gram Panchayat plays a vital role in this. And these are basically some of the highlights, I would say, or the mandates that we have to see, because one is our community participation, then we look at the village participation, then we look at different level of activities that we need to do to promote these action plans, and also its implementation. So when we go at the mission mode, it's important for us to get the picture clear, get the understanding clear. So a lot of misconceptions are there, a lot of non-participatory approaches are there, or a lot of reluctance is there from the community. So we have a whole role of ISA, that is implementation support activities, that goes hand in hand at every level. So I wouldn't look at these things, because these are our plans post the completion of the mission mode, that is post 2024, what do we do and how do we do about it. And these are the departments or the other departments that we converge with, because until and unless we have this understanding with various departments, I don't think we'll be able to fulfill the requirement of meeting the 100% potability across the state. So we work with NREGA for most of the civil related construction works, and Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin, because Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin, JJM is an offshoot of SBMG. So we have grey water management, we have black water management, we have a lot of rainwater harvesting, groundwater recharge, as well as solid waste management also in our department. So we continue with that. Offshoot is JJM. So we also look at skill development, because we need to have plumbers, we need to have electricians, we need to have watermen who are trained for looking at this kind of infrastructure. So we again work with the skill development, and similarly with the PMKSY schemes for agriculture and cooperatives. Yeah, these are again mostly the fund utilizing methodologies that we follow, because if you look at the numbers and if you look at our funds, fund is definitely not a dearth in the government, but implementing to the end point, the capex is taken care of, but operating costs, O&M, and sustenance becomes a big question. So to understand that and to make your project sustainable, we have to look at all of these add-on funds. Water quality, I would say, is another big question, because anybody can question us on what kind of water quality are you providing. So we are trying our best to make our potability standards meet. So we have established about 82 labs across various districts and subdivision levels in Karnataka, and randomly the water is collected, about 200 to 250 samples is collected per month and tested, and if there is any contamination, remedial measures are taken immediately, and it's sorted out. Yeah, this is the kind of support that we get from various levels to implement the program. We have huge levels of ISA happening, that is implementation support activities, with community mobilizers, with VWSC members, and a lot of technical support from various sources. So we take their services and various platforms. We have a full-fledged media cell in the department. We also have a call center. This is a call center which is called Parihara, which is reached, I think, across all the rural areas, and people call us on a regular basis. Presently, it works between 9 to 6:30, and we plan to extend the services of Parihara. So on an average, we get about 250 to 300 calls per day. And we have a time of 3 days to 7 days to sort out this, and we normally don't allow pendencies. Yeah, this is engagement or, how we expect our ASHA, Anganwadi workers, how we take our school children, school teachers, and as well as people who are in the field to understand the water quality management. We have a MIS in place, which on a daily term, hourly basis, we get an update across all the GPs, all the villages are covered here. So we get a data as to understand what is the quality, what is the kind of supplies, and what is the kind of pressure that is coming in the water. So FTK testing is another testing where field level tests are performed randomly by SAG groups, by people who are trained by us, where the water cannot reach the laboratories, or at source the testing happens. And if there is any contamination, it further goes for a test in the laboratories, and then further for a remedial measure on that. So these are some of the IC and ISA activities that are ongoing, and I think this is a process. So yes, yeah, I think some of these, and this is the mission mode. So this is how you see the taps with reaching almost every other part of Karnataka. Yeah, these are the images of the MVS which are existing in Karnataka. Yeah, I don't think I will touch upon this. We have a monitoring and supervising methods, methodologies. This is our dashboard. You can actually, it's live dynamic dashboard. You can click on the dashboard and you get the figure. You get all of this, today's status of how many households, how much is covered, what kind of water, testing, pretty much everything available on the dashboard. Yeah, this is specifically to Karnataka. Yeah, challenges. I would say yes, like sir mentioned, we are the second largest arid region in the country after Rajasthan. So we have the biggest of the dry zones happening a drought hit every year rather. And we have certain areas which are flood hit. So we have to manage both of that. So disaster management is a major area of focus for us. Groundwater tables are very deep, about in 8 to 9 districts. So we have to really go down to get the source water. And finding sustainable source is a big challenge because rainwater harvesting was not mandatory till the last 3 years in Karnataka. So now onwards, I think as a part of Jal Jeevan Mission, it's been a part on and hand in hand. So that's a big challenge. And implementation of ongoing mission mode projects becomes very, very challenging because it comes with a deadline. It comes with number of years. And community participation is a big thing because every time you go to them, you have to prove them that yes, you are going to do something, and at a very short period of time. So we are here, in spite of all the challenges, I would say, to provide Mane Manege Gange at every corner of Karnataka. I represent the department. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sheetal and Singh, and we wish you all the luck for realizing the vision of taking water to 1 crore household. And as you have mentioned rightly that under Jal Jeevan Mission, now the rainwater harvesting has also been included. I think that problem which mentioned that in 8 districts the groundwater is so deep, I think that can also take care of that challenge as well. But thank you for overall share with us the overall picture of the rural water scenario in the state of Karnataka. And I hope that your department, and one of the important point you raised about the Jal Jeevan Mission is the convergence. And I find similarities between Jal Jeevan Mission and Smart City Mission. The very first paragraph of Smart City Mission says that, that this mission will be successful if we can do convergence practically, effectively, successfully. And I think Jal Jeevan Mission is also made on those lines, that we don't work as silos, but all the departments coming together and making urban and rural water management a success. Thank you so much. Let's have a perspective from Mr. Rajeev K.N., Chief Engineer, Bangalore Water Supply and Sewerage Board, Government of Karnataka. Over to you, Mr. Rajeev.
Good afternoon to all. Yeah, Just now we listened what is the situation and how our government department is doing with respect to the rural water supply and other things. There is a zeal in the government department. As that zeal in BWSSB also is Bengaluru Water Supply Sewerage Board is also having a zeal, and we are the frontliners in technology providing systems for any of the water utilities in entire India. As you all aware that BWSSB covers for Bangalore area is around 800 square kilometers, wherein the perennial river, the river which is flowing near to the Bangalore is almost 100 kilometers away, and it is at an elevation, static elevation of 400 meter below. We are pumping the water for 24/7 throughout the year to serve the population of Bangalore, that is almost 1.3 crores. And Bangalore Water Supply is having a huge customers of 10.5 lakhs consumers, means we have 10.5 lakhs of consumers, we are serving them, and any project we are going to undertake, capital investment is easy with respect to government funding and other things. For our sustainability, survival is main important thing with respect to that. That's what we are given most important thing, pattern for this is the revenue collections. BWSSB is having all the connections, almost 99% of connections with respect to BWSSB are metered. We have a lot of challenges in this metering also. And first thing I will go one by one. One is how our revenue connection model is developed. As you are aware, as per the government of Karnataka guidelines, we have to have a sustainability of utility to address the issues of low income and poor population in that area also we have to cover. We have to give some rebate also. We should have cost recovery to maintain the equality in society also, cost subsidiary also, sanitary charges also we have to cover in bill, and meter service charges also we have to do. Consumers who have social bearings on such schools, hospitals, clinic also we have to keep in mind before collecting the revenues. Other recreational facilities like cinema halls, because we have to study entire thing. Then we have to go for a water tariff structure component. All these years, up to 2016, we have one linear tariff basis, increasing block tariff we had. As we have moved forward with the sustainability goal, BWSSB has adopted volumetric tariff with fixed charges has been adopted. That sustainability issues are mainly based on the revenue collection also. For revenue collections, we have all metered connections, volumetric basis. All meters are out of 10.5 lakh meters, we have only 5,000 meters with digital category. Now there is a huge scope in BWSSB to convert those mechanical B-class meter to some higher level meters. So the technology providers has to integrate with us in order to have a smart or digital meter with respect to BWSSB's metering system, because it is almost 7 lakhs domestic meters we have, and out of which bulk meters are also around 1.5 lakh meters are there. We would like to increase our efficiency in this. This increased efficiency will take us to the further level of sustainability. Along with the metering, along with the revenue collections, we are also training the engineers with respect to the water supply and sewerage issues, because trained resource is the important factors with respect to any sustainability. Trained licensed plumber, any person who is able to touch our BWSSB utility should have trained, because lot of UFW unaccounted for water is going to happen at the saddle point wherein plumber used to take the connection from us. Illegal connections we have to regularize, we have squads. Any technologically, any improvement is there in this regard to identify illegal connections, water leakages, all those things are there. If technology can also give us support in these regards, we are taking mass disconnection drive also. All these things will help in future sustainability. Further technology is also required for us to maintain our level. So we are having online billing application. BWSSB is having online billing application. It is a web-based centralized billing system with NIC data center. All the connections which BWSSB, any consumer can apply, sit in USA and apply for the connection, he will get the connection. Like that, we have developed. Monthly billing we are issuing. Biometric we are doing at the office level. Meter reading through handheld devices we are incorporated. Security in bills, receipts we are having. Complete billing and control collection system is only through online. There is no hand cash. So water connections are metered to 100% billed are there. So all these things we are doing for our sustainability. Still further improvement is required. We wanted to make this online billing on web-based one. For there, our technology providers' help is required. So this is a platform for you to understand our difficulties in BWSSB to come forward. Easy monitoring, other bills are there. We are having geographical information system. 2002 is the first organization in India to have a GIS system for water utility. From 2002, we developed various layers of GIS for attributes, and our entire system is having GIS. Even it may be a wall, it may be a pipe, it may be a sewer line, we are having a GIS, and it will be upgraded to daily basis, on day-to-day basis. Any capital works takes, it will be implemented in GIS map before going for billing. That system we have developed. So we would like to have this GIS information, which even though it is static in nature, we would like to have a cooperation with the technology providers to convert it to a dynamic basis. GIS information on dynamic basis, you would like to see the BWSSB with future prospects on this regards. Online water connection, as I told you, we have recently, by 2018, we have developed this, and it is going very well with IBM support. Next, SCADA is there. I hope you are all aware that BWSSB is having almost 5 numbers of 1,450 capacity water treatment plants, out of which almost JICA funded projects which we are constructed onwards, 2002 onwards, are all SCADA based. Real-time monitoring is there. We used to see the quality of the water on our portal every day. It is all SCADA based. Similarly, we have 35 numbers of highly sophisticated sewerage treatment plants, and we are treating the water to the extent of 1,200 MLD. This is a huge quantity, and we are giving this water to an extent of 800 MLD on daily basis to other neighboring districts like Kolar, Anekal, Chikbalapura, wherein they are going to fill this treated water for filling purpose, river filling, so lake filling purpose. So we are sharing those water to the other districts also. It is a prospects. The people are now very prosperous in our neighboring district also. And water treatment plants are under, sewage treatment plants are under SCADA, pumping stations, wherein we have huge pumps to an extent of almost 100 mega capacity pumps are running 24/7. Out of our revenue, almost 70% of revenue is going for power consumption, power payment. So we would like to have an interaction with this technology provide in with respect to energy efficiency. Energy efficiency is one of the other target where BWSSB is looking forward. Our pumps are running at efficiency of 82 to 83%. Some old pumps are at the efficiency of 60%. We would like to have an interaction with the technology provider to increase the efficiency of the pumps, and also to the electrical parts, switch gears. Now new technology has come, vacuum breakers, all those things. This is wherein the technology provider can interact with BWSSB in this regard. As Madam is told, for survival of and sustainability of any utility, the complaint management system is very, very important, because the complaints which we are going to receive from the consumer has to be attended, and the satisfied consumers are our prospects. In this regard, we are having 24/7 complaint management system in BWSSB. It is working 24/7. All the complaints are redressed. If it is not attended at a lower level, we used to accelerate it to the higher level, and on an average 800 complaints we used to receive now. The redressal time earlier we had taken was almost 15 to 16 hours, has been reduced to almost now 8 to 9 hours. This is an improvement. We would like to have much sophisticated complaint management system as in some of the developed countries, wherein our technology provider can also interact with us in this regard. Real water quality monitoring system, we are having this water quality monitoring throughout Bengaluru city of 800 square kilometers, wherein we are taking the samples on average 100 to 120 samples on daily basis. We will give those sample results in our websites. Our website is very dynamic. They can view it. Any quality complaints with respect to the water, we used to attend on priority. This is web-based on monitoring quality systems are there. We have 3 labs are there throughout Bangalore, and this will going to give us the satisfactory result. And BWSSB is having huge fleet of vehicles wherein jetting machines, water tankers and other vehicles are there. Each of our BWSSB vehicles are tracked, where it is going, which work they are doing, and it is all, we are imported these things on our GIS. This tracking is going to help us, monitor each vehicles, each drivers, each operators actions. It is going to improve our efficiency. We would like to have further improvements in this process also. So along with this, as Madam told, the rainwater harvesting, BWSSB is having, BWSSB is the organization, second organization in India to adopt rainwater harvesting by 2011. It is compulsory now, and reuse of the water is also, we made it compulsory. All those things are there, and we are having a public relation in this regard, and those who are the citizens, those who are involved in rainwater harvesting, reducing the burden on fresh water, and also reusing the water, all those things, we are to encourage the people. We have identified Bengaluru Jalarushi Puraskar, for which 42 people are identified in the year 2021, and after the COVID we have stopped. This year also we are going to have this Puraskar for other many number of people, those who are involved. This is a society binding to us, and we will consider them as BWSSB staff, because BWSSB staff with limited resources, we cannot go and have each person be there in the society. So we will identify them as our genuine persons to tell about the leaks or any illegal connections, or propagate rainwater harvesting, to propagate usage of treated water, all those things. We are all doing this in the interest of citizens of Bangalore. So with the help of citizens of Bangalore, with the help of Government of Karnataka, with the help of technology providers, we would like to scale up to the higher level in this water supply sector. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Indeed, you talked about the difficulties and the work progress which have been done by Bangalore Water Supply and Sewage Board. But also at the same time you talked about how industry can come forward and collaborate with the technology solution providers. You have given example of GIS on dynamic basis, where technology service provider can come and collaborate with you. You talked about energy efficiency measures, again where technology service provider can come and collaborate with you. That's quite interesting. Thank you so much, Rajeev Kane, Chief Engineer, Bangalore Water Supply and Sewerage Board. And now let me invite Mr. S.B. Siddhanayak, Chief Engineer of Karnataka Urban Water Supply and Drainage Board. A huge round of applause for him, please.
Good afternoon. Our board is maintaining maintaining and doing project in urban areas of 314 cities, 20,000 population to 10 lakh population. Sustainability means what happens here, the source what we are going to select, it should be about for 30 years we are going to select, but due to scanty rainfall and other things, even some of the reservoirs will dried in the state because of airy weather condition. That too, we have to select such a source that it should not give any problem during summer also. We have to take care of that, and regarding that sustainability, we have to see that what we left the water for the drains, it will go and it will reaches the groundwater. Thereby that our borewell will also polluted, and the source also going to become polluted. That's why we have to think of that treating the water also very important for getting sustainability of water also. That in addition to that, our board is aiming to supply 135 LPCD of water to every urban localites with good quality. So I thank for giving this opportunity to me, that I am not prepared, and I have come for as a representative. Thank you for giving this opportunity to me.
Thanks, Mr. S.B. Siddhanayak, Chief Engineer, Karnataka Urban Water Supply and Drainage Board. Till now, we have heard the government perspective, what the government agencies are thinking in terms of water management, be it for urban sector or the rural sector. Let's have a perspective from the industry. Let's hear from Mr. Arkul Shenoy, Segment Head, Water and Wastewater, Schneider Electric India. A huge round of applause for him. And let's hear his vision on technology-led urban and rural water management. Over to you, Arkul.
Okay. Good afternoon. In fact, this is one of the few sessions where, post-lunch I've seen attendees attentive, people who are eager to listen, and we had some wonderful perspectives coming from different sources. Right from, Mr. Rakesh Singh, the Additional Chief Secretary, Urban Development, Water Resources, Irrigation, Government of Karnataka, who was with us at the beginning of the session. We also had Mr. Rajendra Cholan, who's the CEO and MD of Bengaluru Smart City. Mr. Rahul Kapoor, who's the Director of Smart City Mission, Government of India. Ms. Sheetal Singh, who's with us on the dais, who's the Director Implementation, Department of Rural Water Supply and Sanitation. Mr. Rajeev, for some wonderful insights on what BWSSB is doing, and the numerous technology initiatives that they have taken. And Mr. Siddhanayak, the Chief Engineer of Karnataka Urban Water Supply and Drainage Board, who's again with us on the dais. The esteemed dignitaries from BWSSB, from KUIDFC, from KUWSDB, from Department of Rural Water Supply and Sanitation, Smart City, and their consultants. Welcome again. Now we started off the session by talking about vision and what vision or lack of it can do to how we perceive things. Now it's a known fact that India is a water-stressed geography. You talk of India is so vast that while on one side we have states like Assam, we have states in the northeast which are water surplus. We have, states such as Karnataka, and, incidentally, it was also a surprise to me when, I got to discover that Karnataka, in fact, is the second most semi-arid, state in the whole of India after Rajasthan, right? So that is the kind of, and within Karnataka, in fact, if you go to coastal Karnataka, there's a challenge of flooding. In fact, in the city of Bangalore itself, there is a challenge of flooding. It's a man-made flooding, I would say, a case of urban flooding. We also have challenges with rainfalls, where we are seeing the patterns of rainfall change. We're having early rainfalls, we're having late rainfalls, and when it's actually the monsoon seasons, we are seeing lesser and lesser rains. And the pattern is not uniform across the years. So these are different challenges that we are faced with. If I have to delve into the statistics, with 2% of the land area, 16% of the world's population, 15% of the world's livestock, and just 4% of freshwater resources. That is the kind of skew that we are talking about. We are, with the kind of usage that we are going with the kind of resources that we have, it is predicted that by 2030, and this is coming from the UN, by 2030 we would have about 50% water deficit across India. That is the kind of stark reality that we are staring at. We're talking of the UN mandates when it comes to sustainability and resilience. We talk of reduction of carbon dioxide footprint reduction. We talk of managing the scarcity. We talk of resilience, asset efficiency, circularity, water circularity, which Mr. Rajeev was also pointing out, where the treated water is then sent to districts in different districts in Karnataka for different usages, which is integral to water circularity. Well, we've all seen what are the challenges, and I'll just summarize the challenges that our esteemed speakers talked about. We talked about access to safe and adequate water. If it is JJM, we talked about 55 LPCD, which is a mandate. If we talk about urban, we're talking about taking the water to the lengths and breadths, as well as making sure that the people have an access to water, adequate access to water at the right quality, etc. We are then talking of capex constraints, where, well, Madam, I hear you. I know, we have funds today. It was not the case some time back, maybe, but today we have funds. Now, how do we utilize these funds? And then, if you talk of BWSS, we have KU, IDFC, we have ADB funded projects, JICA funded projects. So funding in some ways is not so much of a challenge. How do we channelize those funds so that we can derive the maximum out of it, and we are able to overcome the challenges that we're talking about? That is somewhere the challenge that we have to address. Now, monitoring and better decision making comes along with that. So when you monitor, when you know where your money is flowing, when you know where your water is flowing, or when you know where the water is leaking, Mr. Rajeev talked about theft. When you know there is theft happening, or when you get a forewarning that there is a possibility of the infrastructure wearing out, and hence leakages happening. Now these are valuable insights that the utilities can get, which can then help them take the right kind of decisions and act in time, so that A, service levels are maintained, B, we are able to meet the the ever rising water requirements, and C, also plug the revenue gap, which is again a very important aspect of sustainability. The fourth one is workforce dynamics. Now, although we talked about Manrega, we talked about all those things, the reality today is that there is a huge crunch of labor. All right, so now when I say that, when we talk about the technology domain especially, this is even more true. In fact, a lot of people who are digitally aware would like to take up jobs which are quote unquote well paying. Now that's a debatable topic. But anyway, people go to software companies, to MNCs, etc. Now, how many of them are willing to work for government utilities is a question mark. Now, is that because there is not much happening in the government utilities? That's not true. In fact, Mr. Rajeev, talked about so many IT initiatives that they're taking, digital initiatives that they would like to take or they're taking. And that's something which is an eye-opener. Of course, revenue, we talked about revenue, integral to sustainability. So these are the challenges, if I have to summarize, that was put forth. Let me know if I've missed something. I think that was one. That was it. Yeah, the other thing that you talked about also was the efficiency part. Energy efficiency. We realized that, majority of the OPEX is spent on energy consumption. That's where organizations like us can effectively partner with, utilities to bring about energy efficiency. Cut down your electricity bill by 25, 30%, which could be a huge saving for organizations like you, who can then channelize the saved resources elsewhere. Okay, so this is essentially the cycle of digital transformation as we speak. We have the assets, we have the operations, we have the people, and we have the resources. Now, in a lot of ways, in a lot of organizations, these are looked at in silos. Now, if you talk about operations, very often they do not know about what's happening, for example, in terms of what kind of assets, where can I get the resources from, and so on and so forth. If you talk about resources, very few people have a view of what's happening in the field. Where is the water flowing, or where is the leakage happening, or where is the revenue getting spilled, and so on and so forth. So when we talk about unifying, bringing all these together onto one single platform, to help the organizations in terms of, visualize what's happening and give them data points which are actionable, that's when transformation happens. So siloed management to advanced management to enterprise management. So in a lot of ways, we are still at the bottom of that hill there, and we are talking of taking a journey. And I remember the conversations we had just before the starting of the sessions where, we were talking of being on the earth and pushing to the moon. Now, moon requires that journey to be taken. It cannot be, one short journey. And we realize that, which is why, we are willing to take those baby steps and then climb up on, someday touching the moon. Okay, this is a representation. I will skip that. I mean, you'll see the different things here where we talk about operation maintenance, field team, control room, laboratory for the quality of water assessment, etc. So the pain points today that we talk about is lack of coordination, lack of full visibility, lack of understanding of how the assets are performing, and how to supply adequate quality and quantity, how to reduce water loss and leakage, how to optimize energy and chemicals, and how to avoid interruptions, service level. And this is where the smart water solution comes. This is a comprehensive view, and I know, we can delve deeper into this. But for today's session, I will restrict it at a very macro level where we talk of integrating the ground assets, which could be your water sources, which could be your power grid, which could be your plants, which could be your quality data, which could be your consumption data, billing data, etc. All of that is gathered through different field devices. We either through data loggers or controllers or RTUs, which are implemented in the field, bring it on to a SCADA, which is a basic implementation in digital transformation. In fact, we call SCADA as the first level to the entire journey that we would take eventually. So, data is only as good as what we make out of it. If not, data is just data. I mean, you can't, if it's as good as the digits that it represents, 1 or 0. Or, you know, if it's so what do we make of that data? How do we, you know, analyze that data, and how do we make use of that data? How do we bring different data points together to understand the correlation, right, and derive benefits out of it? Now, if we talk of leakage, for example, leakage could be, or if we talk of NFW, UFW, right? UFW could be on account of non-billing. UFW could be on account of theft. It could be on account of leakage. Again, if you talk about leakage, it could be on account of, you know, the infrastructure which is aging. It could be on account of, you know, variations in the pressure and in the flow. You know, there could be various reasons. Now, what is the reason? How is it that we understand? Do we deploy? Do we have the enough manpower to understand this? Or are we capable of doing this analysis without the help of technology? No, the answer is no. So when you bring together all these considerations and then plot it onto something tangible, and then get a result which is ready for taking a decision, that is when you know, it would be useful to you. And that is precisely what we are proposing here with the help of our different solutions. You know, without getting into the depth of solutions, we have you know, this is what we can do in different sub-segments, as we call it. Now, if you talk of water treatment, wastewater treatment plant or water treatment plant, to make energy process, efficient process control, to reduce energy costs, to do the predictive management of assets, and improve reporting. You know, we heard Mr. Rajeev talk about how the pumps run at 82% efficiency, etc. Now, if we have the right kind of predictive maintenance solutions, if we have right kind of you know, spares replacement program, if we have the right schedule to say, or if we have a visibility in terms of the quality of power, all of this contributes in terms of increasing the efficiency of a motor, and hence, you know, again, impacting your positively impacting your energy bills and so on and so forth. So greater monitoring, and in fact for urban set of conditions, we have the stormwater challenges where we also have the solutions for monitoring those, managing the stormwater challenges. When we talk about network, again, greater monitoring, reducing the spill events, including pollution, efficient and effective pump control, dealing with blockages, which is a major reason for urban flooding, and managing flood risks. When I say flood risks, this is limited to urban drainage. You know, so these are predictive modules that we have, which can take into account the kind of weather conditions, including the forecast that comes through, the condition of the infrastructure that we have, the GIS mapping that you already have, you know, so we can plot, these modules plot all of these data points and then give you a prediction of urban flooding. Water distribution network, again, non-revenue water, prediction of non-revenue water. Our modules do not just tell you when the leakage happens. Our module also predicts the leakage for you. You know, so this is something which can be handy, especially when, you know, infrastructure replacement comes into picture. So you don't have to wait for the leakages to happen and the revenue losses to occur before you replace. So that is the kind of solutions that we're talking about. Desalination, of course, is less important here in Karnataka. We don't have too many desalination projects. Irrigation, again, we talk about greater monitoring. Incidentally, 80% of all of our water resources, fresh water resources, is spent on irrigation. Now, some would say this is criminal. I mean, is it effectively being used? That's always a question mark. So, monitoring how much water to be given for what kind of crops, you know, and being able to control it and give you those decision-making points so that you're able to get on top of the things and make sure that optimized amount of water is flowing in is also something that is possible with the help of our solutions. We call this the Unified Operations Center. where this is the system of systems, something like an integrated command and control center, where we bring together all these data points, and plot it on one central screen where, depending on who you are, if you're the commissioner, the MD, if you're the chief engineer, if you're the operator, or if you're the consumer, or if you're at the political administration level. So there are different things that you'd want to look at. And this is precisely what this solution does, called the Unified Operations Center. This will give you tailor-made inputs and tailor-made decision-making points which you can make use of and change things for the good of the water management cycle. I'll skip this. This is a view of how it looks. We have implemented this in various cities. We'll come to the success stories in a while. We'll talk about a few case studies, including in India where we've implemented it. I have a brief video of what is called as the Unified Operations Center and how it works, just to give you a visualization of how things could be. And if you permit, I'll just play a 3 minutes video. Is the sound working?
Aviva's Unified Operations for Water is your single unified view for managing your water district's operations performance. Coupled with Aviva's industrial enterprise software, the Aviva UOC for Water provides a starter template allowing for the deployment acceleration of your water management solution. The Water Operations Template illustrated is a starter framework allowing for our customers to modify and tailor the solution to accurately reflect their assets and operational processes. From the home screen, you are presented with a geographic view of several zones that make up your water district. Displayed at the bottom are overall district KPIs showing production cost and demand. Prevalent throughout the solution is the use of slide-outs, which provides additional dashboards or aids in the navigation. At the home screen level, the slide-out shows additional KPIs and operational metrics for drinking, waste, and stormwater. Similar to the home screen, the drinking water summary shows drinking water specific KPIs along the bottom of the screen. The slide-out shows zone-specific capacity and volumetric information. Also showcased here is the use of our Sankey diagram application. The Sankey diagram can be used to show a connectivity model between assets where the mouse over shows flow or volumes between them. Using the breadcrumb navigation, we can select treatment and are presented with a high-level view of the treatment process as well as treatment metrics along the bottom. The slide-out displays water treatment-specific KPIs such as dosing and chlorine demand by zone. Schematic level displays can also be presented as shown here for disinfection. The slide-out shows a plant-specific dashboard. If required, control panels or faceplates can be used to directly control field equipment as shown here with Pump 1. Drinking water distribution shows overall zone-level KPIs for storage and pumping. Used commonly throughout the solution, as shown here in the reservoir summary, is the Aviva's Content Presenter application. The Content Presenter automatically displays data in context based on the structure of your asset or object model. Water leak metrics are shown by zone. Clicking on the map reveals zone-specific details. The tabs positioned at the top and bottom allow for navigation between zones. Here in Zone 1, we can use the slide-out to show a metering area summary and further drill down to meter area 2, showing regional information such as minimum night flow versus standard flow. The pump station summary shows power usage and efficiency by pump station. Selecting Station 2 provides a schematic view of that station. The slide-out shows a pump summary, and selecting the slide-out a second time shows running hours where you can drill down to see data for a specific pump. wastewater section provides reclamation and distribution KPIs. If available, a video feed can be presented directly from the UOC displays to show live video for a location. Navigating to the treatment dashboard shows treatment-specific views and dashboards. The alarm summary from the home screen by default shows all the alarms. Using the buttons on the top allows for alarm filtering by process. Microsoft Teams can also be integrated directly into the solution, allowing for users to chat directly with subject matter experts or other members of their team. Also shown is Aviva Insight, which aids in the analysis of your time series data on a web or mobile device. Aviva Teamwork is used for team collaboration, where a user can identify and contact a subject matter expert for a specific asset. The user can also look up procedures and training material relevant to their specific role. With Aviva Work Tasks for incident management, incidents can be raised and tracked through escalation and completion as required. A summary of incidents is displayed, and incidents can be auto-generated based on alarm thresholds defined in the system. This concludes our brief demo of the Aviva UOC for water. For further information, visit us online or contact your Aviva sales representative.
Okay, so that addresses most of what Madam, you were talking about, Mr. Rajeev, you were talking about, Mr. Naik, you were talking about, including the incident management system, including the 24/7 customer support center and so on and so forth that we all heard you talk about. Now, this is just one example of how things which are traditional, drives are very traditional to the water setup. Now, how do we utilize the data coming from the drive, push it onto a cloud, and do analytics for your assets that are connected with it, pump, for example, right? So that can be done with the help of this setup, where we have the drives with the soft starters that get pushed onto the cloud, where we have our modules that are running to determine the asset health. Success stories, we'll talk about a few success stories. I invite my colleague Mr. Amritanshu to come up on the stage to talk about some of these success stories, one of which is from our own MCGM, which is one of the key references that we talk about. Please come over.
So this is for the smart water. This is a global project what we did it. Schneider did it for the smart water. The unique value proposition of this project is it is from the real-time analysis of the leak management of the transmission line of the system, where we help our customer, the East England Water, the Eastern Water Thailand, to reduce the water losses by 10%, improve the efficiency and the energy cost, because this is for the transmission line. So this transmission line is 500 kilometers span of the area, and the Thailand, because of the seashore, the water is available, but it is a saline water availability. So they are investing huge in transmitting water from one source to another. So there we are putting up our solution in terms of the automation for the treatment plant, for the pumping station, and bringing all the data to the unified command and control center, which Arkul was sharing as part of the video. And as part of this command and control center, there are different bricks and modules which we have utilized to showcase our capabilities, and this all put together help customer in improving their efficiency, in reducing their losses. And this is how we are helping our customer to make their assets more sustainable and efficient. This is for the urban water. It is, I will say, the unique case where we are, this is the 1975 old system, where we upgraded the system without even the single drop of water not being provided to the consumer. So this is the real-time replacement of the old environment to the new environment without the interruption of the water to the consumer. So that's the story, which is having 500,000 remote locations. It is 1700 DMAs, where this is the project for England, where we not only did it in terms of the automation for the network, but also help reduce the NRW and leak management. If you see that there are 6 lakhs plus consumers connected onto the telemetry data points. So that means 6 lakh data is coming to the command and control center, and managing the data on radio, on GPRS is something different, because when you are operating and maintaining the things within the plant environment, it's real-time different scenarios. But when you are operating and monitoring the things onto a wireless network which is beyond your control, the data which is coming is more reliable. And then there we have put up the dashboard, how they are monitoring in terms of their different zones, in terms of the volume of water and the scarcity of the water is being covered as part of the solution. So this is again for the global, for the smart water solutions, where we did for one of our customers in Aquanava, Spain. It is for the smart water for the network, where we talk of drives, PLCs, and the SCADA and optimization layer. This is for India, where this is the first integrated smart city, which was done by Schneider. This is having all the bricks of smart city, which is having the water as the brick, the electrical system as the brick, the surveillance system as the brick, the building management system, and the overall network management of the water. So as part of this story, this is a greenfield project inaugurated by our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi. And this is the only smart city where all the bricks are being, as of now, connected together. The other smart cities are developing and working in that direction. So with respect to the water, we are operating treatment plant and the distribution network of different zones and the network management of the complete city. So this is a greenfield project. It is much different when we talk of a brownfield project. But the beauty of this complete command center is that at the real-time view of single view, you will have your surveillance, you will have your electrical assets, you will have your water assets, whatever brick you wanted to go into, and all are GIS mapped. So everything and anything you can locate it into the network on the map. So that's the kind of solution what we have provided as part of our solution for Naya Raipur. Coming to MCGM, it is again the smart water network management project. Though the network is not part of this, but it is having the, so Bombay is the biggest water consumer, I will say. We are managing 3300 MLD water as part of this project. We are operating and taking the data from 200 plus different locations of the flow meters, 75 plus locations of the pumping station. The Asia's largest treatment plant, which is Bhandup, having the 2100 MLD complex as part of it, and the other treatment plants. The beauty of this project is, this is the first time in water in India, the disaster recovery is being conceptualized. So normally we talk of SCADA, which is a basic SCADA sitting in one command center, or a redundant SCADA sitting in that command center. But in this project, the command center and the disaster recovery center are 50 kilometers away. And the beauty of this project is, this is having multiple of communication network. The data is coming on GPRS network, on GSM network, on VSAT. The data centers are communicating on MPLS and VSAT communication as a backbone. The city command centers, there are 5 city different command centers. They are also connecting on different communication. So overall architecture is fail-safe architecture. So this is what the capability of Schneider is having with their solutions, that we can provide the fail-safe architecture not only inside the plant, but also to the city level command and control centers. So these are the couple of key references. We have Mr. Rajeev, where we have done, so we are sitting in Bangalore. Bangalore is the hub for water for Schneider. We are running, we are proud to be partner to BWSSB for their 600 MLD treatment plant, 550 MLD TKND treatment plant. So we are managing lot of water, drinking and grey, both side of waters for BWSSB in terms of technology. So these are the couple of references which we have done in India. When it comes to JJM, because JJM is the concept which is coming up nowadays, and it is very prominent, ma'am, when we talk of ruler. So we are developing the state-of-art kind of a project which is for UP, okay, which we are doing. So it is a single village supply scheme which we are bringing the data from 7 districts of UP on a command and control center with a 3 level of redundant architecture, which is talking of 3,500 remote locations of tube wells. So when you are talking of multi-village supply scheme, we all know everybody can do it because the number of locations are limited. You have 300 OHTs or 400 OHTs, but we are in this project 3,500 OHTs, 3,500 remote locations data are coming into a single command and control center. So it is the project which is under development. In very few months, we will be able to showcase couple of dashboard from this project as part of the solution. That's all as part of the overall success stories what we have.
Thank you, Amrit. Very insightful. By the way, ma'am, there is also for the JJM a pilot that we're developing with the MP Jal Nigam, where we are bringing together the multi-village schemes. In this case, Amritanshu talked about with UP we are doing single village schemes, with the MP we're doing multi-village schemes, and that would be a blueprint in some ways for the IT backbone that they would develop in the future. So these are different things that we're doing, from the view of conservation, efficiency, sustainability, and so on and so forth. Right from water loss to zero liquid discharge, cybersecurity threats that IT systems invariably have. We have solutions where we minimize them. 100% water resource management from source to discharge. The complete water cycle can be managed, and add on to that, decarbonization of water infrastructures. These are our key value adds, value propositions. So through our innovative smart water technologies and services, we make water safe, reliable, sustainable, and efficient across the entire water life cycle. We partner with our customers in digital transformation to reach resiliency and sustainability goals. Quickly, I have a note saying we have to conclude, we will. About Schneider Electric, we are a France-based MNC, and we have 4, hubs that we call. When we say hubs, it is right from, R&D to manufacturing to, to distribution centers to, of course, the sales and the marketing and so on and so forth, and offer management. We are about 28 billion euro organization. And India, or the Greater India Zone as we call it, is the 3rd biggest hub for Schneider Electric. We have one of the biggest state-of-the-art R&D center here in Bangalore, in Hoskote, and I invite all of you to visit it. There are some amazing things that we're doing there, and we'd like to give you some insights there as well. Quickly, we have about 1,800 plus R&D staff, about 31,000 plus people here, doing a lot of make in India things, a lot of India for India things. That's it. Thank you so much, in fact, for your patient listening. I hope I've been able to address some of the points that you've been highlighting. I've taken some patient notes of that. We will connect with you individually after these sessions, to take you through the details as and when. And it'll be a pleasure if we can partner you in your mission of sustainability and digitization. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Arkul, for a wonderful presentation with a lot of information, a lot of insights, and a lot of understanding how Schneider is transforming the water and wastewater segment, not only in India but other parts of the world, and how again technology innovation is playing an important role, how you are making the water ecosystem sustainable and resilient. And I'm sure deliberations made today by you, which is being heard by all of us, and the eminent dignitaries from government departments will take a note of that, and you never know, some doors of opportunities might open for you for collaboration. Thank you so much. With this, we have come to the end of this Sustainable Water Management Conclave Bengaluru chapter, and so Bangalore chapter, and I thank all our esteemed speakers who have been part of this event. Let me just briefly brief you about APAC News Network. APAC News Network is India's fastest growing knowledge consulting, community building media company. We are focusing on creating awareness on the importance of technology innovation for governance, healthcare, education, BFSI, enterprise, and startup ecosystem. And we are working closely with various ministries in Government of India and in state governments, also with embassies, and obviously with the industry leaders such as Schneider and all. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us today. I request Mr. Sheikh Daulat Hussain, DGM of Schneider Electric, to come on stage and give a vote of thanks. And then I'll request Mr. Gopi Krishna Arora, co-founder of APAC News Network, to hand over the plants to our speakers. Over to you.
Good afternoon. If there is no water, there is no life. No blue, no green. So to ensure greener planet, we have to become a green warrior. This is the time to empower all the, make this most of energy resource by acting for a commitment, positive world, being efficient with the resource, living up to our principle of trust, creating equal opportunities, harnessing the power of all generations, and empowering local community. Join the good fight, be a green Yoda. So I consider a great privilege to propose vote of thanks to all the panelists, all the dignitaries, and participants who made it convenient to attend the event and making it memorable and meaningful. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we can have a group photo. That's bringing us to the end of the Sustainable Water Management Conclave Bangalore chapter. Thank you so much, all of you. I'm sure we'll be meeting again soon in some other city, some other state, where we'll keep on taking the flag of sustainability along with us. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Take care.